Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of After the Flowers, also known as Hana no Ato, a Japanese movie from 2010 that stars Keiko Kitagawa. Now back in 2010, when this movie first came out, I saw it at the Namba Parks Cinema in Osaka, Japan, while I was on vacation. It's a rarity when I'm given the opportunity to be one of the first people to watch a theatrically released Japanese film. But such was the case here. I basically based my selection of the film off of the poster art alone, but it turned out to be a solid movie. Set in the Edo period, our main character is a young woman by the name of Ito, played by Keiko Kitagawa, the daughter of a clan official played by Jun Kunimura. She encounters a man by the name of Magoshiro, who is a low-ranking samurai who sparks an attraction with her. The girl has been practicing swordplay since she was young, and it would be her honor to have a sparring match with this man. He accepts the friendly match, which involves bamboo sticks instead of swords. Well, this match causes even more sparks to fly from both sides, and there's a little bit of romantic tension there. Unfortunately, Ito faces an arranged marriage, and Magoshiro becomes the target for a manipulative authority figure. Subsequently, themes of honor and justice drive the main conflict in the rest of the film. So the most apparent observation regarding After the Flowers is that it feels similar to a Yoji Yamada film, particularly his samurai trilogy, Twilight Samurai, The Hidden Blade, and Love and Honor. Now, Yamada did not direct this, but the similarities are not a coincidence because the screenplay was adapted by a short story written by the late Shuhei Fujisawa, whose writings were the basis for Yamada's samurai trilogy. So After the Flowers has a comparable focus on character and conflict development to effectively build anticipation for a final confrontation. The storyline is a familiar premise, but the execution is strong enough that it will probably impress fans of this movie genre. There are a lot of common elements here, but they are handled quite well. The romantic subtext is subtle, with the female lead being interested in this low-ranking samurai despite her future husband already being selected by her father. And that inability to kind of consummate that love or let it develop further is one aspect that gets thrown in our protagonist's face on multiple occasions, especially during the first half. It's pretty frustrating for this whole situation. But the big conflict of the movie involves a lord who dishonors her samurai love interest, and Keiko decides to get to the bottom of what happened there. There's a significant emphasis on samurai etiquette as well in this, which is always informative in watching these movies set in this era, because there's a lot of formality that's present. Now, the dialogue is pretty detailed, and it's effective at filling in the details of the plot. The acting is pretty restrained, I think, with emotion expressed through slight mannerisms, which does have a pretty good impact. There's not a lot of melodrama in this at all. And Keiko Kitagawa is convincing in the lead role. This may have been the first film I saw her in. I think so, because I did not know who she was when I saw the movie. And to this day, I think it's one of her better performances. Jun Kunimura, good in the supporting role, as you might expect, and some of the side characters are actually pretty likable. There's really not a lot of romance in this movie per se, but they seem to be setting up that star-crossed lovers theme. So you might expect that the fiancé of our main character would be like this jerk who wants to drive a wedge between, the possible lovebirds. But the guy actually seems to be a good dude. He does get on her nerves a little bit, but he's well-intentioned. And he also has some legitimate investigative skills and connections that help her with her investigation during the second half of the film. Now, in terms of action, there is one training duel and one sword fight. And that's basically it. But both of them are nicely executed, and they employ realism and good choreography. There is some legitimate tension during the finale as well, because the script writing does a good job of building up to it. The cinematography and the capturing of natural environments are also very good. The old school architecture is always cool to see in these samurai flicks. And, Japan can make these movies in their sleep at this point, so it's pretty solid production values. So in my opinion, it's been maybe 15 years since I've seen this, probably. And the movie holds up. I recommend this. It's a cool flick. And not many people have seen this one. This one's definitely under the radar, a bit of a hidden gem. So, currently available streaming on Daily Motion. I'll include a link in the description box below. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.